once again, let's get moving. Well, I don't believe we've ever seen a she-goth baby just outside the save room before. Still not enough of a new thing to slow down the footage for. Anyway, since there isn't any wave beam door anywhere near here, it's probably back to either the Jozo ruins or the Talon overworld for us for now. Okay, I have no clue why I decided to go this way at the time I was recording this. Ah! Guess I remembered the terrain better with the controller in my hand than when I was looking at the footage long after the fact. Apparently, I need to have more faith in myself. Well, that hanging bit of terrain is certainly new enough to slow down for. You know, I can never remember if stalactites are the spikes above or below. Hell, I'm pretty sure I'll forget by the time we're done with this clip, if not sooner. Doesn't really feel like we're in especially new territory altogether, but it's fresh enough to get me smiling. Certainly helps that it gives us a good angle on that purple door. Yeah, those things weren't especially scary even before we could harm them. Hell, those little bastards there literally caused more damage to us in a few short seconds than an energy bomber in this same hallway. Right, more of those striped walls, which we still don't have any way to interact with just yet. And apparently we also have those hard-to-spot fast movers to make things troublesome if we manage to get onto one of those platforms on the pillar. Not that we can make it over there easily from here, apparently. Right, another of those devices to work with. Time to see what it unlocks. Okay, so it opens some hatches that have nothing inside them right now. Well, we won't have to worry about that thing deactivating because we take too long. I suppose that's something. Oh, come on! There's got to be something else to interact with out here. Right, so that's apparently useless to us right now. Doesn't really matter if these platforms float if the water doesn't go all that high. Well, there's another device to spin inside of. And we have two more hatches that have nothing inside of them opening here. But opening all four hatches activated a bomb trigger. Bit interesting. At the very least, it's easy to guess that we're going to be raising the water level a bit to move on from here. Seemed in the water last time we were completely submerged. I somehow doubt the game is going to make the water rising be a permanent thing, especially with that door at the bottom here. the smoothest bit of water flowing down I've ever seen, but it's good enough considering when the game was made. And we have a noise for a timer. And I screw up the first attempt, so that's a good excuse to start fast-forwarding some more. The more I fast-forward, the less likely this clip will be over half an hour long, or that I'll have to pick a random point to cut things off abruptly. Apparently, we have to see the same cutscene over and over again when we activate the bomb slot there. Well, I made it to the top. That has to be worth something. I'm not too sure I can actually make that jump from over here. Always annoying when a door decides not to open when you want it to. Come on, there should be nothing stopping this door from opening here. Oh, I was worried I was dealing with a glitch of some kind. My mistake. This door just runs on different rules than usual, so we have to power it up before we're allowed to go through it. Kind of wish I figured that out sooner. Right, as predicted, we have nothing that can break that shell right now, but it was worth trying everything anyway. At least that door actually works. Okay, our first perfectly healthy pirate that wants to fight against us. And of course, for some reason, my scanner wanted to see what was behind him. Well, apparently this stealth pirate forgot to turn on his cloaking device. Probably embarrassing for him, but then I don't think we'd be able to scan him if he hadn't forgotten it. He certainly caused plenty of damage before dying, which is part of why I'm disappointed he didn't drop anything for us when he fell. Ah, well, we've still got plenty of health right now. I don't see any reason why we should be too worried. Am I supposed to be worried that they locked the door right behind us? Because I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to leave whenever we want once we finish off all the enemies that pop up in this larger room. Shame that this game won't let Samus take on the pirates in melee and we have to just shoot them even as they slash right at us. But then I can't think of any first-person game where they managed to make melee fighting seem especially great. Games with a lot of hand-to-hand or sword fighting tend to have a third-person view. Probably not the smartest way to deal with these guys, but again, we have more than enough health to make up for it. It's not like I'm just standing still as we shoot at them. Thank you for the notification that we're done with that ambush. Kind of wish I could feel worried since we managed to lose over half of our health in that encounter, but again, we've gone through some pretty brutal stuff in the other games in the franchise we've done so far. The first Metroid Prime is a pleasant drop in intensity, even if it is longer than the 2D games. If that door's impossible to breach, I can't help wondering why the pirates don't give every door they have that kind of security measure. Especially since Samus is a generally pretty determined and constant foe for them. It's not like we've seen these pirates hire people who are some other race than the one we've seen for the entire series. And again, that makes me wonder why they were called pirates instead of something else. Maybe I shouldn't be comparing Metroid's confirmed alien races to the alien races confirmed in the Halo franchise, but come on. These things feel kinda similar to jackals in a way. If nothing else, they're doing a good job of wearing us down right now. Standard pirates have never been so durable before. So why am I not wearing? Well, they've got plenty of empty tanks. Is that because they've released whatever they were holding in there because they're done with the phase-on experimentation for them? Or is there some other reason? Well, there's nothing in there for the 70% phase-on bath. Life signs for what? That tank is just as empty as all the others in here. And just how is pulse at 140% normal? I'm starting to get the impression that the scientists here just wrote down whatever to make themselves look busy. Considering the pirates have some snow inside of their research wing here, I'm not inclined to believe that their scientists were anything respectable. Define aberrant behavior, because everything on this planet is already hyper-aggressive. I'm sure operations went through some trouble the moment the station above had to be evacuated, much less when it blew up and Samus arrived to make things even harder for them. Not that Samus has done all that much to disrupt the pirates at this point. We've just been gathering equipment, learning about the local wildlife, and learning that there's more to this planet than we thought when we first landed. If you have very little reliable data at this point, why work so hard to integrate it into various creatures in order to make them more dangerous? So, one of the few things they figured out is that this organic, constantly produced power source actively tries to rewrite how a creature affected by it works. Part of me wants to say that learning about something like that would make any group decide to slow down trying to harness the dangerous material and just work harder to understand it more. Especially since This isn't a corporation trying to screw money out of various customers. It's just a bunch of pirates. But then, this is the same series where in one game, we were told to exterminate the Metroids. And then 2 games later, we learned that the supposedly benevolent Federation that told us to do so wanted to use the Metroids in about the same way the pirates did. What even is your timetable on this planet? Were you planning on being done with Talon within a few years or a few decades? Because either way, Samus is gonna work pretty hard to make sure you don't gain anything from all this. As a side note, just decided to end this clip at a random point before we managed to save. I apologize in advance for how abrupt that's gonna be when we get there. Why do I have the feeling that estimation is rather generous? %, huh? Wonder why they're still using so few of their tanks. Doesn't look like the temperature problems have been dealt with since there's still snow in here. But then who am I to judge? I'm not actually capable of feeling just how cold it is in this room. Seems annoyingly easy for the enemy to break our lock-ons, considering just how important it is for us to stay locked onto the bastards in this game. But I suppose it makes sense that things are getting harder for us this far in. Not that things becoming more difficult and the action music playing for so long really does anything to make me feel more nervous about what's going on right now. The only thing making me nervous really is just how long it's been since our last save. Music certainly calms down. I suppose that means we're done with the hostiles in here, at least for now. Though apparently there's still a turret ready to try to kill us, so it's not completely safe in here yet. Okay, and we've got one last pirate, even though the music is claiming it's time to calm down now. Hard to tell if that was an intentional thing to catch us off guard or not. Anyway, let's see what else is in this large chamber for us to read before moving on. Great. Doesn't seem to be any indicator of which screen has something for us to read and which one is there just to make the room look more busy. We just have to turn on our scanner and check everything. So they managed to develop a version of Phazon that went in the direction they liked, at least for now. I suppose that's going to help make things more difficult for us the further on we go here. Not even sure what kind of creature they were working on specifically with this diagram. For all I know, that diagram is something we'll never actually see, and they just threw it down to make these computer readouts look more official. I have the distinct feeling that the next specimen batch isn't gonna arrive, but that's just a guess based on both the destruction of the space station at the start and how many times Samus has destroyed an outright planet in this series. Again, considering how much snow is in the labs, I don't think they really know how to handle the creatures and environment they had to work with, even before they started giving them this especially dangerous substance. So we've got an upgrade in that pod, but we don't have the means to blast into it just yet. Seems as good a point as any to take a break.